This is The Dark One, Part 5.
Damon woke up in a cold sweat. He realized that he must have fell asleep on the front porch swing. When he looked around, Courtney was nowhere to be found. He went to his room and fell back asleep. The next day, school had come to a close and the pep rally began for the big football game. Damon was looking around for Courtney, but all he saw was Catherine. He knew Mason would players since he was quarterbacking tonight. Damon walked up to Catherine and asked, "Have you seen Courtney? I haven't really talked to her much today. At all, really." Catherine said, "Oh, hey, Damon. Nice to see you, too. What am I, chopped liver?" Damon smiled. "I'm sorry, Cat. How are you doing? May I sit with you?" Catherine smiled. "I'm good, Damon. Thanks for asking. Now have a seat. Courtney is mad at you. In fact, she heard you last night some girl's name in her dream. I think the name was Riley." Damon shook his head. "No way. Are you serious?" "It was a dream. A scary one." Catherine shrugged. "Hey, I'm just telling you what she told me. You should see her at the game tonight, though. But a nightmare? Do tell." Damon scratched the back of his head. "I don't know if I really want to talk about it," Catherine pleaded. "Quit being a about the damn dream already." Damon exhaled. "When I was in Wichita, I was on my way to homecoming with my girlfriend, Riley. Something appeared in the middle of the road. I couldn't tell what it was because it was raining out. But in the dream, it appeared to be the Dark One in the middle of the road. But there's no way, right? I mean, he couldn't even leave the forest last night. There's no way he could make it down to Wichita." Catherine said, "Oh my God. That is so upsetting. I'm so lost. That must have been really tough." Damon replied, "Yeah, it's been a pretty tough roller coaster ride. It was pretty traumatic. I'm still seeing a therapist over it, but I'm insane for thinking the Dark One had something to do with it, right? I mean, there's just no way." Catherine replied, "Well, he did say your name the other night, Damon. Maybe you were connected to him somehow. Also, a word of advice? Just be honest with Courtney. She'll be understanding." Damon shrugged his shoulders. "I don't know if I even want to tell her. She hears me say one girl's name in my dream and then gets mad at me instead of trying to talk to me. I mean, seriously?" Catherine laughed. "Well, that's women," Damon said. "But you're a woman," Catherine replied. "Not cool as me." Later that night, Damon and Catherine were sitting at the football game. Courtney walked in the entrance and looked down. She saw Catherine and smiled and waved. But as her gaze reached Damon, her smile faded, and she turned around and walked out of the stadium. Damon got up to follow her, but was held up by the crowd. He pulled out his cell phone, trying to call her. Courtney had already walked down the street and went down the cut of the hill by the baseball field. She looked down and saw Damon was calling her. She answered, "What, Damon? What do you want to talk?" Damon replied, "Can we please talk? Catherine told me you heard me talking in my sleep the other night. I can explain." Courtney rolled her eyes and stopped walking right in front of the baseball field. "It's okay. You have a girlfriend. That's why you've been avoiding me. It's fine," Damon replied. "You've been avoiding me, for one. I haven't been avoiding you at all. Can we just talk?" Courtney crossed her arms. "There it is. You didn't deny it. I knew you had a girlfriend." Damon said, "Had a girlfriend. She's dead. She died in a car accident, which was all my fault, by the way. That's what I wanted to talk to you about in person, but clearly you'd rather just be mad at me and throw a fit." Courtney paused. She didn't know what to say. She felt terrible. Her eyes began to water. Damon realized maybe he came off a bit harsh. Courtney, are you there? Courtney could barely muster a yes. Damon could tell she felt terrible. Courtney was pacing back and forth on the baseball field with tears rolling down her eyes. As she looked to her feet, she saw there was a fog rolling in from the woods. The air got very cold. Damon asked, Courtney, where are you? Courtney said, Damon, something's happening. I'm at... Her phone began to cut in and out. Damon ran down the street. Courtney, where are you? Can you hear me? Courtney. Her words were breaking up, but he was able to make out baseball field. He knew there was a shortcut to their houses. Courtney was standing in the middle of the field. She tried to move, but it felt like there were hands in the fog holding on to her legs. She tried squirming away, and one by one, the lights on the baseball field began to go out. Doom! 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 As she looked ahead, she could see Dark One in the distance, his piercing red eyes inching closer and closer to her. She let out a blood-curdling scream as she felt someone grab onto her shoulders and pull her back. Damon said, Courtney, it's me. Take my hand. Courtney grabbed Damon by the hand, and they began to run away from the field.